So what's up? We are live. It is now time that we are doing research. Let's see how the stream is doing. See how the stream is doing. Okay. Stream's pretty close to, pretty low latency. We're researching East Timor, because about I had an idea for a video about East Timor and how I wanted to do a Johnny Harris sort of thing. I wanted to do like, we zoom around a map and um I got a bunch of assets for like zooming around a map and then the assets for zooming around the map gives me also like access to like a bunch of stuff um see like it lets me it lets me um essentially the entire idea behind using East Timor is to show an entire like backing that like the US has done this before in ignoring issues of um nations crying out in uh pain as their allies do ethnic cleansing to them, and uh I think it's important that we like not ignore that this is not a problem that just came up out of nowhere. This is a problem that like has existed and will continue to exist so long as the US keeps its policies the same as the IR. Like, how to put it? Like reading Chomsky's East Timor retrospective, um, you get to you get to see like a lot of like um you get to see a lot of discussion of what exactly happens in the issues and events, and you it's not often that like um we get to talk about, this issue of genocide outside of Israel Palestine, because that's the current one we're talking about. But like Indonesia and East Timor was an issue long before, or well, around the same, like during the same times as Israel Palestine. But the U.S. is also the ally of Indonesia. But like we didn't abandon Suharto until he was deposed popularly, and well, until he left the government, and then even then we did not dismount their claim on East Timor and support a externally, uh, overseen referendum, and we instead supported Indonesia, uh, overseeing the East Timorese referendum, and it led to even more ethnic cleansing in 1999 and the late 90s. Um, and these were seen as an atrocity, and it's like citing these, and there's all these sources I can also cite uh, from like Chomsky's own, like, work, and they can send me even further on like a rabbit hole of things that happened at this time. And it's like it like gives me an insight into, the Clinton administration and their, lack of action, and that this isn't a unique thing to Israel, it's any of America's allies. Let me check the I'm gonna check the checking the speed test. My download is really high. And so is my upload is really high also. Like I don't understand this. Like my why is my bitrate suffering? Okay, hold on. Settings. What's my output bitrate? Oh, that's 6800. Okay, and now I'm on 6800, and this should solve it, Does this solve it? I don't know why my bitrate is so ass. Okay, it's a little lower. It's a little lower. You can calm down. You can calm down, YouTube. Okay, so it's time to take notes on this. I'm gonna open Dragon. Dragon. And then I'm going to open a document. So okay, hey Ron, we're researching, so as you can see on screen, it's, I'm trying to make a video that's like, you know, comparing East Timor and, I'm trying to compare essentially the, you know, at the end of the Suharto regime and during the Suharto regime, the genocides in East Timor and the US inaction during those, and I'm comparing and contrasting that to the ongoing genocide in Palestine. And I'm doing that to show that, like, this is not uniquely Israel, this is not uniquely, like, this is not something unique to, this is not something unique to Israel as a, like, nation. It's any US ally that is strategically convenient. And so Indonesia having their own, like, genocide that was like let to continue by the US, was like their own little pet project, and like I'm relying on, you know, the work of Noam Chomsky to set me on a path forward towards, you know, getting more information on this. And I'm trying to do like a Johnny Harris style thing where like I have like all these graphics and stuff, and yeah, the whole idea is it's going to piss off like people who have like an anti-Semitic, like, you know, conspiracy towards Israel, but like also people who don't get this is all, you know, this all hinges on the US. This all hinges on the American state. You know, yeah. So, yeah. So like currently I'm reading through this and trying to take notes, and then I'm going to go to the sources that he uses, and from there I'm going to get more stuff, and then I'm going to start writing a script. My goal is to make like a Johnny Harris style video. I have like a bunch of like graphic maps and stuff, like, you know, do you know who Johnny Harris is, that guy? He has like, you know, this like sort of map style. Okay. So he has this like he's very popular, and the thing is like his editing style, his writing is often very deceptive, because he does very often little research, or like very little evidence to back up his claims. He just sort of usually supports neoliberal hegemony. But like but he has like this very like flashy editing style, and he does like a lot of these like map sort of editing.
Is keeping an eye on right now.
The joint
joint military strikes were in response to nearly 2 months of attacks by the Iran-backed Houthi movement on cargo ships in the Red Sea.
It is becoming more and more important for the global rivalries and tensions that are heating up on our globe right now. It is this choke point in the Red Sea.
See, like, he has, like, all these
It's
map
pretty small. It's a
animations,
few dozen kilometers wide.
and,
But
like,
through this little choke point flows a lot of important things. The internet, millions of barrels of oil per day, 30% of all container ships that connect global markets. And this choke point is surrounded by unstable situations, countries that are in civil wars, rebel militias, proxy wars.
see, nothing that's, like, very extremely difficult in editing, like, a lot of, like, stuff that's already been made for him, um, by other, like, creators that are, like, stuff that's already been made that he's just using for his editing, but he gets the credit for very, unique and creative editing, but, like,
unstable governments, failed states, and pirates. In recent decades, pirates.
it's flashy. But I have access to very similar, resources that he uses. And then he gets, like, big sponsors. So my thought is, why don't I make, videos of this style that are just, grounded in reality? Because, like, a lot of this is just map animations, and it's like, it's mostly just, and talking to a camera. Stuff I can do in Premiere. I don't even have to go to, like, I don't have to even go to, like, After Effects for that. It would look better in After Effects, but, like, and honestly, Johnny Harris has been getting less bad over time, but, like, I still think he's, like, very liberal. He's still very CIA Johnny. Like, he's still, like, very CIA coded, like, very. Oh, Ron, you don't even know how to code to use Premiere, or After Effects. Like, just there's a lot of YouTube tutorials. Like, it's like a very, like genuinely, YouTube is your best friend for that stuff. That's how I learned. I learned by watching abridged theories tutorials, like how by watching, Dragon Ball Z abridged. There were, like, tutorials that, like, the main editor made, and that's how I learned how to, like, learn the tools of the editor, and then I just kind of experimented from there, and I became, like, a lot better at it. And if there's an effect you want to do, you just, like, kind of look it up, and then. But I should read this. It is not easy to write with fan calm this fashion. About the events that have been unfolding in East Timor, horror and shame and competitive. Indonesia invaded the territory in December 1975, relying on U.S. diplomatic support and arms used illegally but with secret authorization from Washington. There were even new arms shipments under the cover of an official embargo. There was no need to threaten or bombing or even sanctions. It would have sufficed for the U.S. and its allies to withdraw their active participation and inform their close associates in the Indonesian military command that the atrocities must be terminated and the territory granted the right of self-determination that has been upheld by the United Nations and the International Court of Justice. We cannot undo the past, but we should at least be willing to recognize what we have done and face the moral responsibility of saving the remnants and providing ample reparations, a small gesture of compensation for terrible crimes. I'm gonna copy that and paste that. And listen, as much as I have problems with Chomsky after having defended Epstein, like he's still like one of the best writers on anti-United States stuff. Like, it's like it's hard to not like rely on him and one of his writings for like outlining, a lot of anti-United States stuff because he's like one of the most uh, evocative writers. I mean, it's literally I like his early stuff, but for Chomsky, yeah, but like uh and also hello, yes. Um uh Hello Hermes, uh or Hermes. Uh Tell me how to pronounce it. Uh um it's like I'm just like pasting into a Word document right now. Mostly like a bunch of quotes and like so now we have this document. I'm gonna copy this document. Because also going to look up this, see if it exists on Google. God, it means I have to. Is that Uh, I'm from Argentina, so it's probably the second time I've heard it right from an English speaker. Oh wow. I guess I saw your last name on your YouTube name, so I assumed you were from like a Spanish speaking country or some Latin American country. And so I was like, no, it's probably not Hermes, it's probably like Hermes. And it's like, yeah. Especially because I'm like working on relearning Spanish right now. I'm literally trying to look up like what the article Chomsky references here is. Um, Problem is when you're like referencing a story from 1999, it's like, yeah, This is actually like genuinely like oh, this is like fucking a fucking golden bullet. It's like, who are we to intervene in our. Like, I gotta see if like Philip Bowering is still in journalism. Sir, no. This guy claims to be a fucking like Asian business expert. I'm like upset, genuinely. Okay, so I have this article, which is genuinely not the one Chomsky was linking, but it's actually shows callousness. Um, Perhaps it was a different day. Like the quote is This is prescient. Okay, I'm struggling to find where. Let's look for Rusa. Damn it. Okay. This is awful. Do you not have a digitized version? I'm just grabbing all of these just in case, because I need all of these, I need all of these articles, but I want to close all these tabs. So I have all these articles in my document, but I want to close all the tabs. The recent events will evoke bitter memories of those who do not take refuge. The so-called international community in intentional ignorance. We wish a same shameful replay of events of 20 years ago. After carrying out a huge slaughter in 1977, support a Carter administration. This paragraph right here is damning. After carrying out a huge slaughter in 1977 to 78 with the decisive support of the Carter administration, Indonesia felt confident enough to permit a brief visit by members of the Jakarta Diplomatic Corps, among them the U.S. Ambassador, Edward Masters. They recognized an enormous humanitarian catastrophe had been created. The aftermath was described by Benedict Anderson, one of the most distinguished scholars on Indonesia. Anderson testified before the UN that for 9 long months of starvation and terror, Ambassador Masters deliberately refrained, even within the walls of the State Department, from proposing humanitarian aid to East Timor. He was waiting until the generals in Jakarta gave him the green light, until, as an internal State Department document recorded, they felt secure enough to permit foreign visitors. And this is some general background on, like, you know, general background on the fucking Suharto regime. And this is like how we are complicit, like right here. How America is complicit. and copy paste. Oh yeah, to those who are like, okay, so the reasoning of the senior diplomat was spelled out more fully by two Asia specialists from New York Times. Clinton administration then wrote, like, this weapons sales should be damning and should like go to prove this weapon sales should go to prove that like it's not just Israel. It's we have these client states that we sell weapons to, and they're allowed to commit their genocides so long as we get to keep selling them weapons, and they get to be our little outpost in that part of the world. And it's like we have this genuine monstrous issue with like it's all at the bottom line. All of this comes down to the bottom line is the thing. So it's like people think it's like something more nefarious, but it's always about profits, and it's disgusting. It's always about maintaining a bottom line and preventing the communists from taking over. It's about fighting communism, and it's about the bottom line. And that's all that matters. Because that's why they supported Suharto, is because he fought communism and he was open to U.S. interests on the bottom line. And even now in Indonesia, like with our current allyship, like we send like businesses over there to just cut down like rainforests and like fucking plant palm oil shit, and it's like it's frustrating. I try to find these sources and they just are really hard to find. I mean, I'll just have to cite them through here. Is like what I'm gonna have to do. Is like I'm gonna have to cite them through here, and it's like because like I can't find them in their archive, but like at least this got me to like a bunch of New York Times articles that I can cite. Let me see if libcom has better links for it. No. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I could try emailing Chomsky. Um, his email is like a MIT email, right? That's true. He does reply to all of his emails. I know some of these are like books. Like this one right here is a book. Like search as Google. This is a book. Like if I go to like, I can't go on libgen on YouTube. I think that's actually like will get me banned. If I go on libgen. Let me go in another thing that's not on live. No, it's not on libgen. Yeah, I could email Chomsky and see if I can get anything from him. Like, because I'm starting to reach a little bit of a dead end, but like, I mean, I do have a lot. Um, Let me go to. Actually, no, I'm not a dead end. I have a lot. I do have a lot I can look at. Because I have the UN thing, and the who are these Western Crusaders to be lecturing Asians. Oh God, this is long. It would be funny to email Chomsky about it. Um, uh, but like, okay, so okay, so So this is like an expression of the domestic political implications, and that there is like a hard right opposition. I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce this. Or I can just ask my friend how to pronounce these names. She's Indonesian. Um, so this is like, these are like the contrary. Contrary opinions domestically. So this is the words of the sitting president, where he's like saying actively that like this will cause the balkanization of like Indonesia if like if there's foreign military presence, and it's like that's his argument, and it's like and he's like, I'm losing grasp on power and it will shatter the nations. Like, okay, but like does that give you right to commit a genocide? And it's like, to grasp power? And it's like, that's like the same thing Netanyahu is doing. He's like, I don't have solid control of the Israeli government, I have to keep this going. Because like I'm gonna like go through the story of what happens in East Timor, and then I'm gonna like break it down into the generalizations, and then like reapply them to like the situation in Israel and Palestine, and say like these things are not in a vacuum. There is a playbook. Because instead of like, because they use the playbook of the same, like the destruction of the country, the destruction of the country. We have so many enemies, and like this is an internal or external, and it's like it's gonna destroy the country if I don't do this horrible act. All right. And so, like, unironically, like, genuinely, like, see, the thing is, there's a difference in these two scenarios. Indonesia had a lot more international pressure on them than Israel does. Israel has a lot more global allies than in like powerful nations than Indonesia does. So, like, considering this, this global pressure on them would work to cause a need for change, even if the US was not compliant. Contrary, there are enough countries still on Israel's side that Israel is not finding a need to bend to any will of any external pressure. I think I have enough from this document for now. Let's look at this awful op-ed. In helping to make an international issue out of the East Timor tragedy, Western media and human rights and church groups have strengthened their self-image as a global moral police force. But no amount of brutality by the Indonesian military should disguise the discomforting aspects of the current crusade. Much is done in the name of the international community and international standards. Vague concept is invoked by the West. Taking that quote right there. This is like trying to argue that it's a colonialist agenda to intervene in a genocide. I think I should just like genuinely read out sections of this just word for word and just show that like different country, same shit. Like, and just compare this with op-eds on Palestine and Palestinian rights. It's truly abhorrent. I now have 5 pages of notes. Um, so, oh, Ron, I mean for the script to be like 10 pages or so. Like, I mean to double the length of this as the full script. Like, I mean for this to be a very long script. Like I think I'm gonna go offline soon to like write, or like either that or pull up like a offline Word document or something, just so I don't dox myself or something. But like I might like go offline now, just to like I might go offline now just so that I can start writing, because I think I've gotten a decent amount of research, and like this is enough. This is significantly more than a Johnny Harris video gives out. Like, This is significantly more research than a Johnny Harris video does, and like I did this in a day. Um, like I have more citations, I have more. I'm providing more real shit. So like I think I'm gonna go offline now and I'm gonna start writing, and you should see a video about this soon. I have a new fun little camera that's like a that's like got this stabilizing gimbal in it, and it's like, yeah, I would appreciate that, Ron. I'll run some things by you. Um, I but like I can film some stuff outside and I can film some stuff inside, and like I can do some tracking shots, and then I can do some map stuff and like stock and archival footage, and then I have a whole Johnny Harris video, and then I just score it myself. I also got a green screen recently, but I need to set it up. So I need to clean up my room and have space for that. Also, trust me, I couldn't afford this little camera. I technically bought it on credit I didn't have the money to pay for. It was a stupid idea. It was like an investment for my channel, and I'm now trying to commit to this so that I can make it back eventually. Eventually. True. That, but I have to be making money from this. And I'm currently not. I'm making like $10, I think, a year from like my remaining patrons, who I am so grateful to. But I think I'm gonna like, head out because I gotta focus up on like doing some other stuff and then writing this script. And so I'm gonna like wrap it up for now, and uh thanks for coming by, Ron, and everyone else who came. And I'm gonna like head on out because like I did a bunch of research today, and I'm gonna go to writing now, which is like a more private thing. And so see ya.